Hello anybody and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode we finished up Click Clock Wood, got 900 notes, the remaining Jiggies, so they were at a total of 100, and in today's episode we are going to continue onto this platform and face Gruntilda, finally, after all of this nonsense. And where do we come? But to a board game?
Welcome all, Grunty's the name. Banjo's here to play my game. My lair's done and here he stands, through all my tricks and traps and lands. This final test will see me win. When Banjo fails, then I'll be thin. The prizes on this stand bring joy, from Tooty down to Cuddly Toy. My little quiz will make you sweat, and Tooty you shall never get. 'Cause somewhere soon, along the way, your lack of skill will make my day. 'Cause in the fiery pit you'll go, and I will win the prize on show. So step on over to the square, press A to try it if you dare.
So welcome to Fiery Furnace. We're actually going to step back here real quickly to activate this cauldron. You might be wondering, what do we need a cauldron for at this point? And, well, we'll see. Maybe.
A little answer's all I seek about this game, you furry geek.
So, as you can see, this is Fiery Furnace, or Furnace Fun. I can't believe I just called it Fiery Furnace. But, as you can see, we got a big board game with a lot of squares, and in order for you to be each square, you gotta do each one.
Treasure Trove's sandcastle floor is missing a letter. Guess once more?
This is actually one of the hardest questions to figure out. However, if I had to guess, X. And we took a damage.
Fail a square and you'll feel pain. Please press A to try again. Clanker's Cavern smells really stale. How many ways to get in the whale?
Let's see, there was through the fins and... Okay, through the fins and... Oh, God. Well, these just look suspicious. Through the fins... Ah, 6. So that was just kind of suspicious to begin with, and we got it. Oh, no, we took damage from that. Oh, it just looked really weird. More than 4 or less than 5. That's silly.
In Treasure Trove within this game, what is the leaking bucket's name?
And that was Leaky. His name was Leaky. Usually these questions aren't this difficult. Usually, well, I just got unlucky.
A lucky guess, you got it right. The next square's yours without a fight.
And now that we step on the next one, she tells us about the next one.
A visual challenge, stupid bear, to tell me who it is or where.
Who it is or where. So these ones will be related. This will just show us a picture.
Here's a character from the game. Tell me now the dumb thing's name.
Oh, it's my favorite. My favorite character in the game. It's Mr. Vile. Of course it's Mr. Vile.
Mr. Vile.
I was considering doing all the voices of the characters for the answers, but no.
Hear the crowd, they boo and hiss. To see you fail, they would not miss.
And of course we got health, and she's going to tell us about that.
The energy that you have found won't stop me making Tooty round.
This episode is going to be a lot of grunty voices, so if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it's going to go.
I think it's time, so let me see how much you know of little old me.
So, you may remember that we've been going throughout the castle, or the lair, getting answers from Gruntilda, Gruntilda's sister, who's giving us all those weird things like bucket of beans.
Guess this right, or you may lose. What's the only color I'd choose?
Oh god, so somewhere along the lines they would have told us, but we didn't get this answer from Gruntilda. So if you don't get, Gruntilda, so if you don't get the answers, you're just kind of left to guess, so... no. I think the answers change every game. It depends on, like, the save file or something. So we're just gonna go this way for now.
Treasure Trove's got Cap'n Blubber. What's wrong with that sobbing lubber?
And he couldn't remember his name. Wanted a drink.
He'd lost his gold.
If you do remember correctly. I actually really like this part. A lot of people like this part of the game.
A question on the sounds I play. Get it wrong to make my day.
Of course, if you haven't 100%ed the game and done as much as you could, this part can be fairly challenging.
Listen carefully to this tune. Which world's it from, you furry goon?
Well, that's the first world in the game. Remember, it was really short. We did it in one episode. It was the second episode of the LP. That was Mad Mumbo's Mansion. No, it was Mumbo's Mountain. They always do that. They always have 2 real-world names, and then they always have, like, a joke one. Now here we have a special space that's like,
just one chance to get this right. Win a joker, and help it might.
Now these joker spaces will give you, like, these special cards, but they can be any other category on the board, some of which we haven't seen yet, so let's see.
She will soon be fat and lame. What is your little sister's name?
It's already been said a few times in this opening sequence, so unless you've been deliberately ignoring the dialogue in the game, this should be easy.
Each joker card that you have got will skip 1 question. That's your lot. Press X to use it, you little cheat. When on a square, you get cold feet.
And actually that's perfect for this square.
Get this wrong for Grunty's sake, then a lava bath you will take.
And we're just gonna skip that, even though we don't need the life.
Your joker misses out a square, except the test you did not dare.
Well, that's the thing about the skull.
An extra life, I do not care. It will not help you, scruffy bear.
There's a lot of voices in this, and I think we've seen most of the tile types, aside from the clocks, and I think these are not new. No, they're not new.
Here's a character from the game. Do you know the dumb thing's name?
Of course, that's Boggy, when he ate a Jiggy and is dying because he ate a Jiggy. His name is Boggy. Soggy is actually the name of one of his kids, if I do remember correctly. So yeah, this is like a fan favorite part of this world, is a lot of people just love this part, and I love it too. I mean,
Mad Monster Mansions, graveyard pots, what appeared from them there were lots.
And of course, as you can obviously see, this has an extremely dense amount of dialogue from Gruntilda. So many things she can say, so much good dialogue, so many fun questions, and it just shows a very fun part of her personality.
Prepare yourself to take a whack. Pick this test, you won't come back.
Actually, aside from the skull spaces, which can instantly kill you, these clocks are actually the second most dangerous spaces because they force you to redo some challenges.
Mumbo magic help bear win nasty witch game. This is tough. Your chances are slim of you eating more than him.
So now that we're here, we can actually do something that we weren't able to do the first time we were here, because now we can get the shoes, and oh god, we shouldn't have eaten that. So the thing about this version of the game is now the Yumblies, you gotta remember you can only eat the Yumblies on the top of the screen, but now they change every 5 seconds instead of every 10 seconds, so that's something to keep in mind. However, you should have the shoes for this, and that'll make your life a lot easier now that you have the shoes. So yeah, the little timer thing, the challenge squares, they can be anything, and keep in mind, you can take a lot of damage during these, and like they can be any of the mini games, like a boss or something, but okay, come on, switch over. There we go. Yeah, they can be bosses, they can be any previous to the challenges that you've done, and they can be really hard, especially because you take damage in here, it'll carry over to the actual game show. Come on, gotta get there before... Oh geez, we just barely won that. So yeah, the damage will carry over, and also they just take a lot longer than these other challenges on the board. Of course, your only real goal is to get to that end there where the stairs are. You don't need to clear all the things on the map, and some of the paths are really out of the way, or really dangerous, especially the long stretches of skulls.
You want to hear us, I can tell. In which band do I sing so well?
I think it was Grunty and the Broomstick Boys. Yep, that was right.
That's a secret! How did you know? Did my sister tell you so?
That's really weird, and of course I'm gonna skip this because I don't want to immediately die. So I think I'm gonna come over this way now. But yeah, music, of course, is also another fun space.
You should remember, but we'll see if this is heard. Where would you be?
Ah, Mumbo. Of course, that is, of course, not inside the shaman's skull. Not inside the crocodile's head. That was actually a place, funny enough. Alright, I guess shaman's head, that's kind of a dirty question, but that's kind of funny about this.
Part of Monster Mansion's race. What's the time on the church clock face?
And its hands have fallen off. You'd think it would be like midnight or something, but no. That clock has no numbers on it, and that only becomes really relevant now. It's funny, really.
See the picture on my screen. Do you know where you have been?
Oh, that's a Actually, that's kind of... Oh, I see. It's a very sharp angle looking up at the cactus in Gobi's Valley. It'll do that. Even though some of the pictures should be fairly obvious, they do like to tilt around the camera and play with angles in order to try and trick you.
I like a cuddle and a fight. What do I take to bed at night?
Not a scary... that's a good question. I think it's a... Oh, it was a huge sweaty baboon. I don't think I got that answer, but oh well. Anyway, I'm going to try the Joker question because these Joker cards are very useful. And of course, we're going to get the image challenge. A chain suggests that could be either Clanker's Cavern or Rusty Bucket Bay. And I think that is Rusty Bucket Bay. Okay, that's good. But yeah, this part of the game is really fun because it gives us like another more insight into Gruntilda's personality. She's a gaming type, she's a gambling type, and she plays by the rules even if her questions aren't necessarily that clear.
Listen up now, then make your choice. Which character has this dumb voice?
Oh, I love this one. Banjo the stupid fat bear. Oh, that's great. That's hilarious. It's Tootie. I don't think I've ever gotten that question with the Banjo the stupid fat bear. Or if I did, it was a long time ago and I forgot.
Listen up now, then make your choice. Which character...
Oh, here we go again. Funnily enough... Oh wait, I thought that was Klungo, but I guess not. That is in fact Nipper the Hermit Crab, who we beat up. If it was Klungo, there was no way Banjo and Kazooie would have actually heard them throughout the game, since we only see Klungo in cutscenes in this game. Time for another time challenge. I should have skipped it, though. And of course...
Mighty big box, you must now fight, but be quick as time is tight.
So here we have to fight Boss Boombox again, but this time we have a timer because, of course, it's a time challenge, and that's kind of the point. And this is actually a room that can do a ton of damage to you if you're not quick. However, we do have golden feathers, and I'm not shy about using them in this encounter. Okay, that's enough for now, maybe. We'll see. Because we've already seen this fight, and I don't want it to drag on longer than it has to, although it does give me the opportunity to talk about Furnace Fun and how it's a lot of fun, but I've already kind of made that point, and how it shows the, you know, the gaming side of Gruntilda's personality, how she's just, even though she's a villain, she plays by the rules surprisingly consistently, and it's really funny. Because, well, she's a villain, and even though she might seem like a dirty cheat sometimes, and she has tricks and traps and stuff, she does have a sense of fun, and that's great. Also, if you look up around the arena, you can see that we actually do have an audience painted on the walls. That's kind of creepy, actually. Anyway, we're gonna come up this way.
Freeze easy, snowman's giant scarf. What are its colors that make me barf?
Yellow and red. Unless it was like orange and red, but no, it's yellow and red. Anyway, here we come up to another visual challenge.
See the picture on my screen? Do you know where you have been?
And that is, of course, Freeze Easy Peak. Definitely, the star on top of the tree. Where is it? Not Click Clock Wood.
Freeze Easy Peak.
Yeah, that's Mr. Biles' voice. I'm sorry. That's why I did that voice. Anyway, we're gonna come over this way, and of course, we do have another Grunty space.
A little more, it wouldn't hurt. What would I have for dessert?
Maggots, I think. No, it's rat sorbet, because I asked what sorbet was in that episode. Anyway, let's do another one of these, I guess.
Do you know, and can you tell, what on earth's my favorite smell?
It's, ew, Oh, I got it right. Maybe it does stay consistent between games, because I remember these answers being the right ones across, like, on other files.
When this piece of music's heard, which move's done by your stupid bird?
Well, that's fairly easy, of course. And that is not the Wonder Turbo Wing Trot. I would love the Wonder... yeah, that's the Turbo Talon Trot. You might not necessarily remember the names of these moves, since they only come up once and then never again. I'm going to use one of my cards to skip that because I don't want to do it. And that one is, you know, time challenges take a while, and they take forever.
On Mumbo's mountain, surrounded by sea, there's a ginger. What color is he?
He's blue. He can't be black, and the green one in that level is... I think it's actually one of the huts. And here we have one of these death challenges, and at this point you want to kind of, you know, be careful about that because it takes forever to get around here.
Look at my build, muscles tout. What's my most enjoyable spout?
Sport. Sport. I think it's broomstick racing. Yeah, because I remember some of them aren't necessarily gross, they're just kind of peculiar. So we've nearly gotten to the end of Gruntilda's board, and we've taken out the left path around. As you can see, this board is massive, though, and I've actually done the whole thing before, and it takes like a good half hour or so to do every space. Anyway, we've come to the final question.
If you know this, please don't shout. In Clanker's Cavern, the odd one out?
Oh, jeez. There was... God. We've seen bolts and we saw anvils, it must be hammer. We did it!
No one can win, I was assured, by the makers of this board. It's not fair, I want to win. How I long to be real thin. Now you can take the prize on show, while up the winding stairs I go. You won't catch me, I've made sure. All the credits you'll now endure.
You fiend! And she runs up the stairs, and now we have defeated Gruntilda.
Which prize shall we take, Kazooie?
Me! How about that grotty ugly thing?
I think we should take Tooty.
That's what I meant!
Kazooie!
Please, can we go home now, Banjo? I've had enough adventuring for one day.
Sure, let's get out of this dump.
I don't know why we don't just take the other prizes. And
Chief of Ideas, Greg Grunty Mails.
And now we're gonna get a cast of characters along with the credits for the game, and this is gonna take a while.
More ideas, George Blubber, blah blah blah.
We got Tooty, and there's gonna be a lot of characters on here.
Chief Keyboard Tapper, Chris Snacker Sutherland.
I'm not gonna read all the things in their voices. I mean, I'll try, but, well, I can. I don't remember the Jinjo voice. So yeah, this is the end of Banjo-Kazooie. We didn't get to fight Gruntilda, and that might seem like a bummer, but, you know, fun is fun.
Keyboard Tapper, all big clucker. Check.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to fight Gruntilda directly, but, you know, I think that a board game finale was kind of fitting for the whole thing. We got to do it, and that just seems like in character for her.
Keyboard Tapper, Kieran, Congo, Connor.
I like how they have little nicknames, like all the people in the studio have nicknames. Rare is usually good about their credits, although it's a rare tradition for there to be a cast of characters whenever they do their thing. Now, this will take a while, because while this will usually... Excuse me. On the N64 version of the game, while this would go through all of the characters once, it would cycle through all the characters, the NPCs, and major enemies, or whatever, what have you, once. Because this is the Xbox Live Arcade version of the game, they have many more credits to go through, and they're gonna do that by cycling back through, and it takes forever. And because other than that, these credits they don't take that long. And it's just, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I understand, you gotta give everybody credit, but it kind of is a little...
Other doodling, press chomp-a-pow.
It's kind of reflective of the whole... That's where I did this Snape voice too. It was for Tip Tup. Sorry. I'm just getting distracted by all these characters showing up. Boggy, you're a terrible father. But yeah, it's kind of reflective of the modern age where everything needs a huge team or something, but I guess it's kind of hard to really say anything about this version, because first they do the whole N64 staff that was originally responsible for the N64 version of the game, and then after that they have to go through all of the Xbox Live people, which is funny. It's just kind of funny because I remember when they got to the last character in the N64 version of the game, that person got a disproportionate.
Paper Butcher Simon Logominer!
Yeah. There were so many good characters in this game. I really like Banjo-Kazooie, of course. You can tell that because I LP'd it. I mean, why would you LP a game you hate? I mean, that's kind of a weird question because some people do end up doing that. And, I mean, I guess, depends on the game, depends on the intentions, I suppose. But Banjo-Kazooie, it always stands out to me how much this game stands up after all these years. I mean, it was a late N64 game, so it still looks good, but it's still an N64 game, and it still looks good. That toilet seat needs to be washed and cleaned. It's disgusting, and why does it have eyes? Oh well. But, yeah, it just amazes me how well this game has stood up over all these years with all of these fun characters, the writing, the images. Why is Snorkel back under the anchor? That's awful. Oh, you silly dolphin. You poor dolphin. And we've already see, there was only like one NPC in Rusty Bucket Bay. So we're nearly at the end of where the credits would have stopped last time, but yeah. Click Clock Wood, I liked it. Credits for the shinier version. 4J Studios, keyboard tapping, Patty Burns, Chris Mullender, Richard Reevey. I don't know why I'm reading that, it just kind of happens. It would usually end with Nabnut, that was where it would end. I think it'll cycle around again. It'll come back, yep, and we're back at Gruntilda again.
Big cheeses, Frank Arnott, Patty Burns, Chris Vanderkool.
Chris Vanderkool, and she didn't say that in rhyme, so that's not canon. Of course, it wasn't canon the previous time, too, but oh well. But yeah, everything in this game just holds up so well. I mean, the gameplay, the visuals, the graphics, the writing, everything is good. I mean, if you go back to the N64 version of the game, it doesn't look as great, but that's just to be expected from an HD update. This is even in, like, the little character images. Those got a clean update, and they look a lot cleaner, too, and that helps. Everything is just clean and nice, and Mumbo's head is still kind of ugly, but they fixed that in Banjo-Tooie, and, well... Actually, the funny thing about Banjo-Tooie, the sequel to this game, is it had lag problems on the N64. Like, it would lag pretty consistently, but on the port for the Xbox Live Arcade, it cleaned it up pretty quickly so it didn't have lag anymore, which is kind of funny because there was lag in some of the cutscenes. And in the first cutscene of the game, the music ends up not syncing up with what's happening on the screen. And while they changed every other cutscene to account for that, to make it time with the music, it didn't work out so well with the first cutscene, so that on the very important parts of the track, things weren't matching up with what happened, and it was kind of dumb and a little goofy. You know, hello Gruntilda, we stopped talking to you towards the end. Still, the advice we did get from her was pretty useful, so that's appreciated. Walking in place. There's a lot of walking in place in the credits. I guess they don't want them to wander around too much and stay in place. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. You can look at Nipper. Wasn't that exciting? So yeah, I guess I'm not sure what else to say about it aside from every world in this game was great. I mean, even Clanker's Cavern, which people generally do not like. They generally don't find it fun. I like Clanker's Cavern. I think it's an underrated water level. I mean, as far as all the worlds in the game go, it's probably the worst, but when you're the worst of all these things that are good, can you really fault it that much? I mean, yeah, it's a water level, but I liked it. I still liked what it did. I think it did the industrial well. Bye, Tip Top. We're not gonna see you again. And we've come back to Boggy again. Oh my god, this goes on forever. Although it occurs to me I should probably just speed these up. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll put up a... No, I'm not gonna put up a marker for when the credits are over. You're staying through this with me, too. I mean, granted, you can just click through the video if you want, but, you know, I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Hello, Brutus! Actually, there is something I do have planned for a little bit later, but I kind of wish they saved the credits until then, but, you know. And you might be wondering, oh, but you said that we saved Tootie, we're done the game, what left is there to do? And we'll see. You'll see. Hello, Ruby and Toots again. Toots. It's such a silly name. That thing returns in the sequel, not Ruby, but Toots returns. I guess they really liked it. We've already come back to Mad Monster Mansion, again my favorite aesthetically designed world in the game. I mean, aside from going in the toilet. Banjo-Kazooie, the Microsoft Game Studios logo. Rare. The Rare logo, Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox Live, and the Xbox logos are all trademarks of the Microsoft group of companies. And as far as I can tell, you can't speed this up. And here we've come finally to the post-credits. Let's watch. Those flowers are freaking out.
Baron Bond did good. Help Mumbo beat Witch.
Yeah, but they needed my amazing moves to do it.
No way! Me and Banjo were the stars of this game.
Cool shades.
What's the party for? Grunty got away, so get back up there and finish the job!
Oh, yeah!
I'm not going!
Ouch, yes you are. Let's go.
So, we try to have a party and relax in front of the house, have a nice barbecue, but of course we are not able to do that. Thankfully, the game has the courtesy to actually teleport you all the way back to where you ended off last time, up to the end of the game show. And the funny thing is, you can actually go through this and get these lives if you want. You don't need to at this point in the game, but it's still funny that you can do it. Also, there's a glitch on this board where if you fail a certain space, you can just teleport to the end, and it's kind of funny. Anyway, we can look up to the Grunty's Furnace Fun, which has our faces on it for some reason, because I guess she likes us. They really do have an interesting relationship. Anyway, we come up this tower, where Gruntilda fled, and we have this utterly spooky music. And you might remember this winding tower, this winding staircase, from the beginning of the game. And we activate this cauldron that actually goes at the start of Furnace Fun, so if you ever want to like go back down the tower, and that's a shortcut so you don't have to go across the board every time. There's a life in the window there, but you don't necessarily need it. And we come to this final note door, 810. So while you could get to Furnace Fun without even entering Click Clock Wood, if you didn't do Click Clock Wood and you only have 800 notes, you have to go into that world and get those notes. It doesn't take long, but it's still kind of a big middle finger to you if you tried to skip the last world in the game. It's just really interesting, isn't it? But before we go through this final note door into the rest of Gruntilda's lair, then, well, I think we're gonna cut the video here. And if you want to see the end of Banjo-Kazooie and the final confrontation with Gruntilda herself, then I just hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.